This episode of Sessler Something is brought to you by Lumosity. Okay, everyone, it's Sessler Something. One thing, I am actually not here right now. I am out and about. I had to do a lot of traveling this week, so I went ahead and pre-taped some answers to some questions because we don't want to not have a Sessler Something, but I also, as of yet, cannot predict the future and analyze it. When I do have those powers, you'll hear about it. Okay, let's start this off. This is from Andrew. With EA and DICE declaring February Fan Appreciation Month, promising tons of in-game patches to fix players' complaints, is it too late, too little, or can these companies fully repair their public images? You know, it isn't even just Battlefield. Let's just be honest. Battlefield 4 is a problem. The fact that this far down the line and people are still having problems just getting on those servers and watching and playing a game all the way through, it's an embarrassment. It's highly unfortunate, and this obviously comes on the heels of last year's similarly, but not as egregiously handled launch and handling of SimCity. EA seems to always be in the crossfires of the gaming community, and let's say 2013 was kind of one large foot in one large steaming pile of dookie. You know, I've come out before. I don't think EA is an evil company. I kind of find it ludicrous that they always make it to the top of that, like, vote for the most horrible company in the world, because my former employer Comcast is on that list, and I would kind of put them a little bit higher. But actually, to that point, having worked in media and stuff like that, I guess I have a little bit more insight of what happens with executives and how decisions get made in very large corporations. It's not kind of top-down evilness. It's kind of a collective contributions to bad ideas that come across from sort of a monolithic entity from Electronic Arts is having very, very onerous intent. It's a huge PR problem. It's a huge marketing problem. My issues have been year to year with EA is that You do get the sense that there's something callous in a lot of the games that are put out and the ways that they're marketed, that you can almost see kind of behind the glass, like how somebody in various divisions said, oh, you need to have this element to to appeal to this group of people. You need to kind of frame the game this way. That's kind of game design by committee rather than game design by creativity. This is an issue that has plagued my television career, and I think anyone who's worked in movies, television, music, or anything is going to befall. Somehow EA seems to be the most pronounced about that among many other large corporate publishers that are out there. And, you know, there are ways I think that they can try to get over that. And I think it's going to be investing in some riskier initiatives and IPs. EA is very cautious. They really took a bath on the Old Republic, and I can understand that they want to be cautious, but the best way to try to burnish your image is to look like and demonstrate in a financial way by investing in creativity, in new IPs, in interesting ways. We have, you know, BioWare seems to be the one entity right now of Electronic Arts that seems to have a fair amount of autonomy, and you really can see these games that seem to be a little bit more true to what that team up there wants to do. And allowing that with some of the things that they're going to be working on going forward, I think really will, over a long period of time, soften the animosity between that core game consumption public and what EA is. They sell games in the millions and millions and millions, but the thing is, it's that core group, the people who are the loudest and who complain the most, that really help shape that image of the company. And they need to think of them not just as a bunch of numbers, but as people who really have a vested interest in the quality and the experiences of the products that they deliver. All right, guys, let's take a moment and thank our sponsor, Lumosity. Lumosity makes brain training easy with fun and games based on neuroscience. They can help make any brain better by enhancing memory and attention. You can build custom training programs and get stats and summaries to track your progress and see where you need to improve. Over 40 million users have already experienced Lumosity's brain training, so go try it for yourself. You can get instant access and help support Rev3 Games by signing up at lumosity.com/Rev3Games. All right, our second question comes from Jeff. How much does the price of a game affect its final review score? Thank you for asking this question, Jeff. I think I'm going to give you guys an answer that you're not going to like. I do not let it affect it at all. This is a debate that I've had with many people, even ones I worked with on X-Play and many of my colleagues. It's even come up a few times here at Rev3 Games. I don't like to include that sense of cost, that bang for the buck mentality, because it turns a game from something that is so, that is creative into a product. And that's where suddenly benchmarking of something, and that there is kind of a standard you need to be judging it against, as if 12 hours should have this type of quality and 100 hours should have this type of quality. It's not something I'm just even choosing not to do. I can't do it. My brain won't think that way. That, you know, a game like Gone Home, 3 hours, I know some people complained about what its cost was, but the experience was so phenomenal to me that I loved it. You know, a game like Skyrim, which I thought was just amazing in what it was doing. You know, I love that game for that. There are games that I felt that are too short, but not against the $60 price tag. They're too short because I'm like, what did I just do there? I have no lasting sense of it. It just seemed to be start, do the same thing over and over, and then it was done. I'm not saying other people shouldn't review games with an idea towards cost, but I just want to kind of offer my take up into the sort of the pools of opinion out there that, and I'm going to phrase it this way, people won't be probably happy. I'm not doing my job out of a defense for the consumer, but out of trying to foster a discussion about what happens in game design, the amazing creativity, that weird interaction of the limits of technology and the ambitions of technology, and just the raw creativity that comes from the design and from the art and from everything else. That's where I want to have the discussion. That's what gets all my synapses firing when I'm playing a game, and that's the way that I evaluate it, how it is a collective experience and not a series of notches on a belt that in some way means it's good or it's bad.